Going into the season, obviously a lot of expectations, which I think is a good thing and a bad thing.
If you cannot stop this run, you are going to be in for a long night when you're playing against Matt Sieg in this Fort Cherry offense.
Touchdown Rangers from 28 yards away. Ewing is into the end zone. Touchdown Fort Cherry. Ryan Ewing's 7th touchdown of the season. Salvini, he wants touchdown number 10, and he's got it. 61 yards, touchdown Rangers.
Thought we definitely had the best team we've had in the past couple of years. Kind of our year to make a state run.
Definitely the best team that we've had all 3 years that I've been here.
This group made it to the state championship, a couple years back. Fell short the year before, and really just wanted to try to get back to that state championship game and find a way to get that one done.
The season started off great. First 3-4 games, we were dominating.
A lot comes out of being physical. If you could establish that in the early going, I think that a lot of other things will kind of matriculate their way down.
I mean, we pride ourselves on physicality every single game, and I think really bought into that myself. I wouldn't rather want to play for any other team than this one.
The idea of needing to play us for 4 quarters is something that we really stand, and believe. Whenever we show up to a game, there's going to be teams that find ways to slow you down in the early going, but can you do it for 4 quarters? That's really the question we ask each week.
And we've created history here, and we kind of brought back Fort Cherry as a school.
It's something that I'm proud of as a coach. It's easy sometimes to try to instill a culture whenever you have kids that are willing to buy into something. Sometimes it's a little bit harder when you get a little pushback, and that's not what we've had here. We have kids that all are worried about one thing, and that's winning games. Yeah, listen, if you don't have a clean catch, okay, you don't have to say go as soon as you touch the ball. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can catch it, start closing that gap, then give them the go, because you don't want to be too far away from them when they leave. Yeah, I came from this school. I'm someone that's from this area. I've always taken pride in being from here. Having an opportunity to come back here and be a head coach is something that was a unique situation and a unique opportunity that I was fortunate enough to have the opportunity to do. All right, kick off, here we go. Good hit. Good hit. We are very, very appreciative of the small town community that will do anything for this team. We have nothing but help behind the scenes, trying to make sure that we get everything that we need to do. Good. So off the top of my head, I don't know what the number is, but my dad, my brother, my cousin, my uncle, there's a lot of family members that are involved up here. There's a lot that aren't as well that really help push this thing forward. Dad, come here. Core, come here. There was a quote a long time ago, I don't know who said it, but your goal as a head coach is to be the least knowledgeable one in the group. I have staff that really just puts a lot of time and effort towards this. The family members that are involved in that obviously is a unique situation, and it's something that I don't take for granted. Being able to be around my family that much is something that's pretty cool.
Take a good look at the rolling hills of Western PA, because tonight the Bishop Canevin Crusaders look to come rolling into Jim Garry Stadium on a vengeance, ready to hand the Fort Cherry Rangers and back-to-back 1A Whitfield champs their first loss of 2025.
Sieg keeps it himself, tries to get the edge. He does, sidesteps a man, cuts back against the grain, and there goes Matt Sieg! Sieg off to the races! And that's how you open a football game! Matt Sieg, first play, Rangers on the board!
That means the world to me. I've always been a football fan. My dad's been a coach my whole life, so when I was little, growing up, I'd be at high school games, high school practices, and I know a lot about all the great players that have come through the WPIAL.
And a record-breaking run it was as the extra point by Massey is good, and Matt Sieg becomes the all-time WPIAL total yardage leader, passes Lenny Williams over 11,000. Matt Sieg does it. Fort Cherry leads it over Bishop Cannabis.
You know, kind of have my name up there with a lot of them is really cool and really special for me and my family. Definitely something I'm super grateful for.
Talk a little bit about Matt Sieg.
Yeah, not a lot better than Matt Sieg across the WPIAL. And it's been interesting, been nursing a little bit of an arm injury the past couple weeks, so Fort Cherry hasn't thrown the ball really at all.
I heard it in game 4. I think part of our whole offense is kind of being dynamic, and after I got hurt with my shoulder, kind of just had to lean on the run.
Sometimes it's hard to have one person go down because it changes a lot for your group. The kids were resilient, they battled, had to find ways to win against that were tough and knew what you were trying to do. In the passing game, is Matt Sieg going to be able to play quarterback and throw the ball with the shoulder injury he's had over the last couple of weeks? I guess we'll see.
Fort Cherry, you mentioned quarterback Matt Sieg, but he's been out for 4 weeks with a shoulder injury. What does head coach Tanner Garry go to?
Yeah, I think if Matt Sieg's going to play in this game and he's going to be fully healthy, he's going to run the ball. They don't even need to pass the ball. They threw it one time last week and they ran for over 500 yards. You know exactly what their bread and butter is.
The games were just rough on everyone, I think. We were having a lot of fun. Even though we couldn't pass, wide receivers were staying selfless and blocking, and it was harder definitely to win without being able to pass, having that second option.
I mean, even though we couldn't pass, I think everyone was still very confident that we could go out and win. I mean, obviously, people were planning for us to just run the ball a lot, but we were still priding ourselves on defense. We were able to be able to stop other teams and be able to score more points.
He threw his first pass attempt since week 5 in the win last week against Neshannock.
I talked to Tanner Garry all week long, but tonight before the game, I asked him, I said, what happened when he hurt his shoulder? And he said, yeah, he hurt his shoulder on the same night that he broke my record. He said, of course, he breaks my record and then he gets hurt.
Trying to find ways to get creative, but at the same time, you don't want to overthink it. We had a heck of a player in Matt that still wanted to find ways to get the ball in his hand, and then obviously give him a spell whenever we could. We had a lot of other, really good playmakers, but, regardless if you have playmakers or not, it's tough to keep people guessing when there's really not much to guess about.
Half the battle staying healthy, and cards really just didn't fall in our favor. So
when your quarterback can't throw, you kind of get a feel how like linemen feel, not getting the ball at all, you're just blocking, and it's kind of just like you're doing your part for the team. There's nothing you can do about it. You just have to kind of put your head down and work.
It was odd to kind of just focus on one thing when you were playing, but yeah, no, it was definitely tough, and I felt bad for all our receivers too. They just go out and block every game, but yeah, I mean, we tried to work through that as best we could, and I think we would have had a lot more success had we been able to do that.
Our coaches drew up great game plans every single week, and we were pretty solid on the defensive side of the ball too, and that's another reason why we won a lot of games this year.
The group came together and understood that we were in a unique situation, but they still, battled, trusted the process, trusted the things that we were trying to teach.
I think going into playoffs, I think every team knew we couldn't throw, so a lot of teams were loading the box and, weren't even guarding our receivers most of the time.
The mindset obviously is one game at a time. I think that sometimes it's really easy to look ahead whenever you won 2 previous WPIAL championships the year before, but we had to focus on each game that was in front of us.
Ground and pound, that's the name of the game. They're going to do plenty of that here tonight. I don't think Fort Cherry has seen a defensive front like what Laurel has tonight. At the same time, too, I don't think Laurel has seen probably a defense quite as stout as what Fort Cherry has been all throughout the year as well. I can see this going any number of ways here tonight.
Me as a coach, I'm nervous because that's my job. I said, but my guys are killers. They'll hit anything that moves. They're wired a different way. You're built different. These guys want what you have, but they don't understand what it takes to get there. Show them there's a difference from the first snap. They want to be you. They can't be, because they're not built the way you are. You guys understand? Yes, sir. Take care of it. Hit them everywhere they go. Let's get out of here with the win. Let's go.
Third and 21 now for the Rangers. Sieg found space. And he is going to take it all the way for the touchdown. Matt Sieg, he's going to go 67 yards for the game's first points with 8:18 to go in the first quarter. Big drives by both teams to open this game, and Laurel knocking on the door trying to tie it. 3:04 to go first quarter. Carlson right side, Carlson, touchdown Laurel. Two monster runs by this Spartans team. Santini gonna air it out for the first time. He's looking for Carlson down the field. Sheds the block, touchdown Colton Carlson! With 1:23 to go in the half. He shed the block of Nick Massey, and he got 6, and Laurel's got the lead with 1:23 to go in the half. Snap it, coming to the near side is Sieg. It's academic, he's in the end zone for the touchdown. Second touchdown run of the night for Matt Sieg, and with 17 seconds to go in the half, Fort Cherry has tied it at 13. It's about as expected here tonight between these two sides. Big touchdown run by Matt Sieg early. Big drive by Laurel to answer. A couple of defensive stops. Big drive again by the Spartans to go down the field. And then Sieg and company answer with a big special teams play and a 1-yard touchdown run by the incomparable Matt Sieg. 14-13, Fort Cherry leads it. Laurel is going to get it to start the second half. They have their trio of return men back deep to receive the kickoff. It'll be a T formation once again behind Santini. On first down, Santini hands off Miles, gets a block from Carlson, frees him up. Miles around the far end. Miles takes off down the sideline. Jack Miles is going to go the distance for the touchdown. 33 yards with 9:15 to go in the third, and Laurel has recaptured the lead at 19-14.
He's going the distance. He's going for speed, and that was a cakewalk into the end zone.
Low snap to Sieg again. They're going to go reversal. And they're going to pass. They got a man wide open down the field. And it overshoots the intended receiver. Braden Faulkner was way late on the coverage.
A lot of things just not really going our way. Sometimes it's weird as a coach. Sometimes you can just feel something in the air, and it was one of those things in that game where ball just wasn't rolling in our direction.
If you want to get to title games, you need to convert third downs. If you want to win games in Pennsylvania in November and December, you better damn sure be able to run the football. Laurel's doing that here tonight. Silvera on third down, snap, pressure. Silvera throws it far side. It's intercepted. It's Jackson McVicker, and he is tackled over the 50 into Fort Cherry territory. And Laurel is going to win this thing. There's still 1:10 to go, but there is the mistake. There is the 21st interception by this Laurel secondary, and the Spartans are headed to Acrisure to play for a WPIAL title. Laurel Spartans have ended the 3-year run and ended the high school career football-wise of Matt Sieg in incredible fashion tonight. Laurel upsets Fort Cherry. The 4 seed is headed to the WPIAL championship game with a 24-14 win over the #1 team in the state and 2-time defending WPIAL champion.
With the expectations that we had for the year and the goals that we had set, anytime you fall short of goals, it's obviously going to be a letdown.
Going further into playoffs, things got harder and better teams focusing just on our run, and it finally caught up to us.
Tried to work through that as best we could, and I think we would have had a lot more success had we been able to do that.
I think a lot of people are going to think that we're not going to be able to win again. I think they're going to think that now that we don't have Matt, we don't really have a team anymore. And I think that's putting a chip on everyone's shoulder that, you know, everyone on our team still knows that we're very good and we can still obviously go back and win the whole thing again.
A great time to reflect and understand that, you know, these kids have accomplished things that no one else in the school has, and that game doesn't take away from any of that.
Over my 4 years, you know, we had 2 WPIAL championships. We made it to the state championship, and we did stuff no one's ever done.
You have kids that are such a big part of the team for so long. It's sad, but at the same time, it's one of those things that's fun as a coach. Pull yourself back and take a look at what you have coming back and how can we find a way to make this thing work going forward.
To kind of be able to do what we did and bring the titles and a lot of records that, you know, weren't here before, kind of put the place on the map again.
You build a culture, and you could only build it from the ground up, and those kids that were all seniors at one point were freshmen on our team that had to make a decision on whether or not they wanted to buy into what we were teaching. Those kids made that choice, and they decided, yeah, we want to buy into it, and it got them to a point where they're able to look back on their high school career and say, we won 2 WPIAL championships, made a state final appearance, you know, won 30-some games in a row against WPIAL opponents, broke a bunch of records, did a bunch of great things. At the end of the day, I'm just happy to be able to say that I was their coach, and, you know, I'm excited to see what they do at the next level.
Yeah, hell of a run. Hell of a run. Just played your ass off. You ran into a team that played the best game of their life. They won. They won. Hold your heads high about what you've accomplished, how far you've come. And look where you guys are at right now. The seniors get to leave here saying they've won 2 WPIAL championships. Okay, and we won 40-some games in a row against WPIAL opponents. This one hurts. I understand that. But this is a lesson in life. It's a lesson in football. It's a lesson in everything. Okay, that you have to always put your best foot forward. Sometimes the ball doesn't roll your way. That's just the way it goes. Tip your cap to them. They performed. We just didn't play our best game. That happens. There's nothing wrong with that. We're human, right? There's nothing wrong with that. Senior, stand up. Listen, at the end of the day, whenever I think of every single one of you here, this is the game I'm going to think about. I'm going to think about everything that got us to this point. You guys are so much more than this last game. Unfortunately, at some point, you were going to play your last football game. It is what it is. Everyone standing here has done it. But you got bigger things ahead of you. I can't wait to see what you guys do. And we're always here for you if you need anything. You understand that? Just kind of grab your name. Sun's gonna rise tomorrow. Sun's gonna rise tomorrow. This one will still hurt if you put one foot in front of the other and you keep going. We on the same page? You guys have been, it's been instilled in you to continue to battle, and that never changes. Okay? Tip your cap to them. All right? This is where it ends. All right? But being in part of this red and white right here, that's lifetime. You understand that? Let's break it down, fellas.
Family on me, family on 3. 1, 2, 3, family.